Howdy, howdy, it's the morning howdy, morning howdy.
Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the Morning Howdy. Like every episode. Howdy partner. So today's topic is going to be mistakes. And we're all human and we all make them. No one's perfect. But we can try to be the best we can if we decide to make mistakes at the same time. Because you'll never know unless you try, and to make anything perfect, you're going to make a mistake or two. You can't be afraid to make a mistake. Some people are scared to just dive into the deep end, or, some people are just, they don't want to lose something. They don't want to say they lost, or, or even fall down for say. Like, people are scared to take that first step. But you can't be afraid to make mistakes. Every equation, we never learn what 2 plus 2 is. First we think it's 3. But you have to guess, and someone usually tells you right from wrong. You always find out if it's right from your mistakes. Because if you never take a mistake, you never take a jump off the deep end, you're never going to know what it's like to, the greatest things come from mistakes, is what I'm trying to say. And, a lot of things worry us sometimes, that stop us, that halt us. And, we try to find ways to go, around it, over it, but we should be just going right through them. I used to skateboard back in the day, and I used to fall all the time. I just kept making a mistake. But if I didn't ever make a mistake, I would have never have learned how to ride the board perfectly, go up and down the ramps. You know what I'm saying? Do stuff that takes balance. You have to know what it feels like, right? You have to fall at least once or twice. And it's the same thing with going into a job. First you're not going to be able to get the job. Then you realize what it's like to get a job. You never have that experience. You never know how difficult it was if you never even tried to get a job. Everyone thinks they're just like, oh, I can get a job. Maybe the young people, all the old people usually know. But some people who never had a job, they're just like, oh, I'm going to go there, I'm going to get a job. No, it's more than that. You have to have qualifications, and then once you do get a job, you realize what it takes, and then you realize that people who all have jobs, they did the exact same thing, and to get to that certain type of point, I'm saying you make a mistake. You don't go to a job and just expect to get it. That was your mistake. You didn't know what to say. You weren't prepared. You weren't dressed right. That was your mistake. It was just an example to show you, like, the things in life that we do that cannot be up to par as to say perfect or the average or the right way to do something. Okay? But we learn from our mistakes. That's the best part about being who we are. Is once we know something doesn't work, we don't try it again. Right? And then we go to the next step. We just do the next thing that's possible. We go to the next place that's similar. You don't stop. Your mistake was to go to that place. That place just wasn't meant for you. And a lot of times in life, I like to say everything is meant for a reason. And you're not supposed to know that reason, but you have to take the mistakes to find out what the path you're really going on. And once you do get onto that path, there's going to be things that are going to stop you. It's like once you found your way, they're going to try to get you right back to the path you were on. That is just a way of life. You have to push and pull your way to going straight, because the fastest way of going anywhere is straight. And people are going to try to, like a little parachute on your back. They're going to just try to hold you down a little bit from going your fullest, fastest, or whatever type of potential you're capable of doing. And so like I said, you can't let one mistake venture you off of your path. A lot of times, like, this is more relatable. We have something drastic that happens to our life. Per se, there's a hurricane and, like, your house gets flooded. This is a common thing that's happened in the eastern part of Houston. People's houses have been getting flooded. They don't have a place to live. This drives them off of what they were doing. There is such a fall, and the next thing you know, they're not doing the same things that they were supposed to be doing if they had found their path already. These are one of the things that can knock you off from staying on your drive, like something drastic, someone that's going to get you depressed, or you know, or get you from getting onto your path to begin with. You know, you never know. All you have, say you have a bunch of friends, right? You make the mistake to hang out with the wrong type of people. You make the mistake to choose a drug. You make the mistake to not, not practice on your whatever your craft is. And there's a lot of things that do that. We do a lot of mistakes throughout the day that we don't even realize that it is a mistake. We don't. It's because a lot of the times we lie about our mistakes. We try to give ourselves gratification for the mistakes we make. And then it doesn't become a mistake anymore. And that's the problem I see a lot happening nowadays, is that no one is, really looking at themselves when they make a mistake and just like, dang, you're a piece of crap for the things you keep doing and not realizing. You say, no, it's okay. But most of the times the things we do, not everybody's making a mistake. But there's a lot of people out there, the people I'm trying to reach out to, that are making the mistake. And they don't even realize it. It takes time to live. You have to live up to your mistakes. You have to know, and the way I'm trying to say is, like, say you cheated on someone. This is the first thing I'm thinking about. You cheat on someone. And they ask you, did you cheat on me? You say no. Because in the back of your mind, first you don't want to tell them, right? Because whatever reason. But if you live up to your mistakes, you become a true person, a true individual. Because if you were to speak true, you wouldn't be in a relationship if you were to cheat. You got to be truthful in every single way when you speak, when you think. And it all starts when we think, because we think before we talk. For most people, I can be a blabbermouth sometimes, but I still sort of take a moment before I speak. I think about it, right? And it's important. It's important because we all make mistakes. And it's just like, say, you forgot to do something, right? It's just a little one. You forgot to take the trash out and you lie and you say no. And the next thing you know, the trash is out everywhere because you said no, and then no one went out to get the trash, and now there's a big mess. It's a little mistake. It's something that can happen. And we don't live up to them, because if you would have just said, no, I didn't do it, so maybe someone would have took care of it. You got to be truthful. The better things happen when you're truthful about the things you do, because if you lie about a relationship and an example, and you're not even truthful, the first thing they're going to say, you're a cheater and a liar. If you're just truthful and you spoke your truth, things would go back well, and you might even still have a relationship. If you're lucky, but you have to stand out. You have to stand up. You have to be truthful. Women and guys, that's the only way you stand out, not to others, for yourself. When you you feel you have an extra type of aura around you, is when your mistakes, you don't lie about them. You're eating bad and you say, no, it's okay. I won't lose the gains, as the guys would say. I won't lose any muscle, but you're just justifying the things you're doing, so you'll do them, even though it's not. You're not being truthful to yourself, and that's where it all starts. And it comes from mistakes. It comes from the ones we accept and we don't accept. But we all need to learn. We have to learn from all of them. We learn from them. That we don't get sad because we make them. No, we learn. We should be taking them as a learning experience each and every time. Everything is growth. We're literally like flowers on the earth, man. Like we become babies. Then we bloom, man. And the only way to stay bloom is to keep doing the things we're supposed to be doing, staying true to what we're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, once we know we're making mistakes, everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own ideas of what they're supposed to be doing. But everyone has usually a goal or something they want to do, or they have their own way of living. But you can make that best type of living you have by living up to the mistakes we make. There's a lot of people that are biased, that won't believe the truth, and that is a mistake itself, because we all know we start to believe our mistakes so much, we believe it. There's no way it could be wrong. But once we do know we make them, we can't just say no. We accept it. We have to embrace it, because we only learn from it and we become strong. And then when the time comes around again, we can spread the wisdom tenfold. If we can actually live it, we can spread the wisdom, and people will live by it the same way we want to. We all want to be our perfect self. And the only way to be perfect, in a sense, is to know the things that you're doing wrong, in a sense. It's not all just the word mistake. You know, there's other words to describe it. And the best way to do it, we got to think positively, all the time. We have to think positively. You know, we always have to, you know, the things that happen that are bad, think of them as good. You know, some things are really bad, and I'm not trying to get on that level. I'm talking about little things, because the little things we build up on, and one little rock. But you think of it, but one little mistake can take the rock that holds down the foundation of the whole and can let everything crumble down. You can't let it crumble down. You have to make sure every little corner, like a piece of a puzzle, you start with the outside and you work your way in. It's the same concept. You work with the little mistakes so you can work on the big one, whichever one it is, so you can go on the right path to be the best person you can be, your best true self, you know. And, you know, you're not living a dream. You're not doing something you love, you know, unless you've made that mistake to know what is it you like. You know, you've done the things, and this is the one that's calling you, and you're not going to make the mistake by not following it. Some people walk away from their dreams and their path. That is their biggest mistake, because they feel like they can't do it, because they kept making too much mistakes. There's so many in each and every category of what someone really wants to do, but there's always a way. And you got to think positively. You have to think everything that happened for a reason. And it happens with sports. People don't win every game. You know, people don't win every race because they didn't go hard enough. You know, they didn't push themselves even though they knew they could at the end of it. They're just like, dang, I could have, you know, people, you know, who make medicine. People who have been trying to figure out the cure for diseases that are cured today. Man, think about the desire of always having to make a mistake. That no, this didn't work out. This didn't work, but they never gave up. Their path was to figure out a cure, because they felt like that was their purpose. That was their path, and they figured it out for a lot of things. Not everything that we can think of. That's probably not here, like the major ones. I don't want to name anything, you know, but there's always, you know, people are always trying to figure out the answer, but they know. This is the point in life when we know we're supposed to make mistakes. We have to keep trying. No matter if we know we'll never make it. You don't stop, because all that work you did will only, you know, it'll only you know, kind of go down the ladder. Your growth doesn't go away in the end. Like if you know, you have a family, you're supposed to spread your wisdom throughout your life. Everything learned is supposed to be spread to the youth. And if you know that's not your time and part of your life to do something like that, you can only grow as yourself. Like I said, most things happen for a reason. The mistakes that have happened to us most likely happen for a defined reason that we don't know about. But if you think about the butterfly effect, you know, one thing can change every course of like history in a sense, and it's true. But everything happens the way it does, no matter what you try to do, and there's no explanation for it. It's the same thing. If you don't make a mistake, you'll never have an explanation of what happened. But if you did, you don't want to live on, if I had just done this. You don't want to ever live on that. If I had just done this, you know, we prepare ourselves mentally so we never have those type of thoughts in the end. You know, it's crazy to think about sometimes that, you know, like you prepare yourself so you'll never have to think of, what if I was home? You know, what if I didn't go out? What if this? You don't want those. Those are the worst things that we can have on ourselves. Those are the ones that kill us in the inside. That's the ones that make us depressed. You know, that's not what's gonna carry us by in the long run. So let me give you an example of something that it was a mistake that I realized that had a bigger purpose than what I had imagined. So I'm a kid. I get out of school. And I think I was in middle school at the time. I was definitely in middle school. So it was like 6th to 8th grade. And I decided there was LA Fitness, right? And right in front of our high school, an LA Fitness, you know. I wanted to go work out, and I had like 2 buddies with me who were going to come with me. I had a guest passes, and I was encouraging like my little friends to go, because they didn't do it in the long run, these friends, but you know, I was trying. I was like, come on, like they were my skater friends, you know, let's go hit the gym and stuff. So I'm with two other individuals, and we jaywalk across the street. You know, we just want to get on the other side of the other to get to the walking sign is like a little ways, and it's too much. It's better just to go straight across. And a cop pulls us over, and he says, and the short story short is, he said he's gonna give us a ticket for jaywalking. You know, we were saying all the excuses. We're just going to the gym. We go to the school, and you know, and he's just like, no. So he gives us all a jaywalking ticket, and it was a mistake because we could have just walked to the thing. And we hated the cop. He was an asshole. Blah blah blah. But what did I learn from that mistake? Because I didn't I jaywalked, but I made sure not to get caught by no cops. I kept more observant. I became more aware. And, you know, I did go to the walk path, like, you know, for a long time. And I did jaywalk again once or twice. But, you know, I did go to the sidewalk. I did walk across. I didn't want my dad to pay another ticket for me, you know. So I did. So what did that might have stopped? I learned from my mistake. I wasn't going to get another ticket. But the reason the ticket happened is because I jaywalked. I made a mistake. I could have been hit. I could have been, you know, run over. I see the crosses on the side of the roads. You know, people, it's unfortunate for the people and unfortunate for the circumstances that do happen. And so, you know, their mistake was just go out and whatever, for whatever reason. It's super unfortunate. But that could have been me. That could have been my group of friends. There could have been someone going 40, decided to go past a car for whatever reason, could have hit us. You know, and maybe we wouldn't have lived. That could have happened to me. You know, I could have been crippled for whatever reason if I just had kept jaywalking. But the good thing is, I learned from my mistake. I did start going to the sidewalk. I did, you know, I was thinking about. In the end, my dad told me, you know, I did think about it. Well, with his perspective, is his position. He sees kids crossing the street. You know, it's not hard to see from the other person's perspective. There's 3 kids walking across the street during a busy time on a busy street, right? And the speed limit is like 40. Just think about that. 40 miles per hour can definitely kill a kid, whether we like to think about it or not. You know, and that was his perspective. He didn't want that on his conscience. He didn't want to make that mistake. I learned from my mistake. There's a lot of mistakes that happen, and the things we prepare for, because no one wants to have that what if again. You know, the what if is a really big question in mistakes, because it's always what if. And, you know, I had a conversation with my friend that's in the Army. You know, it's a lot of what ifs. What if I don't join? What if I did join? I know what I want to be, so what if I never, you know, it's just a lot of that. And we're scared of the what ifs. That's the things we can't, you know, can't be afraid of our mistakes to make them. Now, the difference in consequences of mistakes. This is a big part. The difference in consequences. Now, this could be hurtful. This could be, you know, jail time. So that there's people who skydive, right? Or not just skydive. The people who do, they have the wingsuits, right? And they fly down the mountain. You know, that's different. It's completely 100% more dangerous, like tenfold, because you're not supposed to pull a parachute when you're going down, like literally level to level with the ground. It's crazy. But anyways, what is the difference in consequences on things you're about to do? Like I said, skydiving, you know, the mistake could be your parachute, and there's no coming back from that. Jaywalking, you know, I could have been hit or whatever. That would have been the consequences of that. You do something bad, you know that it's a mistake, and you get jail time for whatever. We all know those really bad things we could do, and there's jail time for life, whatever the case. There's difference in consequences besides just falling over, you know, getting a cut or even a sprained ankle, you know, you know, or getting really bruised up and whatever thing. There's always consequences to whatever you do. There can be very little. You know, we put ourselves in where there's a lot of little and higher rewards, and you know that could be with like vaccines, that could be with medicine, that could be with being a doctor, a healer of some sort. You know, just doing math Just doing some type of math and science that takes a lot of equations, like making a rocket and just putting in all the sequences into the parts. One little mistake can make the rocket blow. Something like that. There's a lot of consequences in the things you do, and you don't want to make a mistake, but you will still have to make mistakes. So it's just like, how much time do you put in before you even attempt to do something, whether you do it or not? And it comes with the consequences, because we'll tend to make more mistakes if the consequences aren't big. But there's some, like financials, like business people who take that risk, and they don't want to make a mistake, but they still take it and they make the mistake, and now they're down $100,000 because they had a loan for a business they wanted to start up, something like that. And it's hard. It's always what if, and the best thing I can tell you is just take the chance. Always take the chance, because you'll never want to have a what if again, knowing that you didn't ever get to do it, or it's crazy. It's crazy about mistakes, honestly. Like, there's so many different ways to look at it. And here's an important thing about mistakes. Don't worry about other people's mistakes. Why are people so worried about other people? Unless it affects us. I understand. Unless it affects us. We shouldn't be worrying about other people's, like, how they look, or like what their problem is, or how they keep messing up in football. They're the weakest guy and we make fun of him, or whatever reason we say he sucks. That's not the answer. That's not going to help us. We do a lot of things, and we have justification, and we take that out on others. Like, don't worry about other people's mistakes unless it affects us. And also help others. You can help other people's mistakes. You can tell them what's right from wrong. But what I'm saying is, don't go up to someone and know he's doing something and just make the mistake of trying to hurt someone. Hurting anyone is a mistake. Because that's not the answer. That's not something we have to do. We don't have to hurt each other. It's always a mistake. Because in the end, we don't want to be hurt ourselves. So why are we're going to feel bad if we hurt someone? Every fight I've been in, I always kind of felt bad at the end of it. Because I was like, dang, I had to hit somebody. I inflicted pain on someone. Like, whether I felt like I had to or not. And all the cases that have ever happened, it's just like, dang, I had to punch someone. It's just like, well, how did they feel? Versus, I know how I felt. Like, I didn't feel like I wanted to cry or nothing. It was just, maybe it's my perception of being hit is different from someone else's. But to some people, it's life shocking. Someone hit me, and it's just like, and they feel helpless, or whatever the case may be. Like, I never bullied someone. I'm not saying I ever hit someone bullying them. I'm gonna say that straight up. Anyone will speak up for me. I've never actually bullied someone. I've been mean to someone before, but I never bullied someone. I've been mean before. I feel like there's a big difference to be harassing to, like, there's been times I've just been mean. I had a bad day, but it's not the same. It's never going to be the same. To really go out and bully someone, man, that's something that should be stopped. I completely agree. No one should be having someone torment someone, just because they're bigger or stronger or whatever the case, or prettier. That's not cool. We should be lifting each other up, not putting each other down. And like, yeah, I know I shouldn't have been mean to someone, but I made the mistake. I'm not saying I'll never be mean to someone in the future again. I've probably been mean just recently before, but like, I keep making those little mistakes. But the consequences are a lot different if I did something else at the same time. But I'm not justifying my mistakes. I live up to them. I say, yeah, I did this, but I know I shouldn't have did this. I'm gonna prevent this next time. I'm not gonna do something twice. It's just something, and then I say something, but later, 2 years from now, I do something like it again, and it's just like, dang, it slipped my mind. I didn't. When I really think about it, when I really truly think about this, whatever happens is, you can do 2 years. Say you're on a skateboard and you made a mistake of dropping in, and you got hurt a little bit. And you're like, dang, I haven't skated for 2 years. I made a mistake. No, is that something you want to do? You recapture. You take those first steps again. You can always go back into whatever you do. You might make the same mistakes. We shoot a basketball. We're not always going to make it in. We keep making the mistake. But we can keep working on it. We keep learning. We can almost, so like I said, no one can be perfect. No one can go and shoot up to a basketball and make it every single time. Something's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. But we can always be our best selves. We can always learn from it. We can always help others. We don't have to watch someone fall. We're always so scared. Someone speaking, There could be anyone who's being racist, right? So I saw the video, and this is why I'm gonna get up this topic. I saw the video of this white man, a white teacher, being super racist, saying white power. I don't even know. I think he might have taken some drugs or something. It really looked like he'd had taken a pill. Like, I'm not, like, no joke. I'm just not making this up. Like, you could definitely tell when someone's a little high in the words. And yeah, he was just blabbermouthing in class, and like no one said nothing. Everyone was just watching. Like, it's like something that I see often. A lot of things happen. A lot of people see mistakes being made. No one's saying anything about it. Sometimes it's not our place to say anything. Sometimes we feel like it's not our place. We shouldn't butt in on other things. But we can help people on mistakes. We can say, no, you're wrong, right? And say whatever you. This is your way of thinking, right? There's nothing with saying someone's wrong, but make sure to have an explanation behind it. Like freedom. Freedom is the 100% right. There's no ifs, ands, ups about it. If anyone's saying no about it, someone's saying someone's less, you definitely speak up, because we all know that's wrong. And this is just one of my examples. There's a lot of things that people do are wrong that someone can speak up for, like bullying. No one needs to watch another individual be picked on like that. Someone can say something, not like go tell a teacher, but talk to the individual personally. I never, I was never around people who got bullied. That was never something I really saw. Like, I guess I was in an alright school, I guess. I was in an alright neighborhood. I never saw some people getting picked on in a certain way. People always handled their business themselves too. There's been a case where I've had to step in for whatever reason because I thought it was on, but it wasn't something that I saw all the time. There's some places it's different. There's some places that are like that. I've heard it from other people. We've all heard the stories, and then we all think to ourselves, what if we were there? What we would have done? But we can always prepare if we ever see it ourselves. We can always be ready to help someone. We don't ever have to make the mistake of, damn, I wish I would have done something. Don't ever make that mistake. Always be true to yourself, and don't let people make the same ones. And if you do see someone making mistakes, don't worry about them. But if you can, try to help. Always try to help. We have our own. We can always work. We're always educating ourselves. We're always becoming smarter. We always have the goal to be better. And I'm gonna come down to the end. This is the end of it. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. We can make things happen. You have to believe and help other people. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. We all make them. We're all human. Stay on our path. Stay positive. Just shoot for the stars. Like everyone should just be going out there and doing them to the best of their ability. And that's about it, guys. So thank y'all guys for watching so much. Like and subscribe if you like the video. And until next time, guys, howdy.